everybody today? We all excited, alive, and full of energy? So today's been an interesting day, and I'll share it with all of you. I believe everything great in life involves people. And for great things to happen to all of you, it's inspired through the interactions of your clients, and the same thing for us. So, today we were mentioned in Inman for our help in creating the Robert Refkin action plan, which is pretty cool. And it just made me think how grateful I am to have such amazing people that I get to interact with every day. Right. So I just wanted to share some gratitude for each and every one of you. You guys all show up enthusiastic with energy on good days and bad days, and just that ongoing commitment to be better. So I have a quick favor to ask of all of you. Now, I'm going to drop a link in here. It's to the workplace post for Robert's action plan. And we have a session coming up today. Please click the link right now. And we want to give Robert some love and tell him what you're most excited about whether it's the accountability session, having an actual action plan. There's 60 plus people here. Just if you're driving, please don't do this. Just take a moment to click the link and just drop a comment on the post. If you're like Matt and you're sitting still, then maybe you can do it. But if you're driving, do not do this. Just click the link and drop a comment. If you're joining us for the accountability session, it's today at 4 p.m. And the coolest thing is that all of the email templates that we have were just uploaded to the Compass templates. So this entire action plan, the notes library, the video library, everything, the emails that are done are all fully baked into the Compass platform. Obviously, the notes library and the video script library are their own documents. So it's pretty cool. So if you guys all take a moment. Aaron Lowe, nice to see you, my man. Jake, how are you? Amy, Tamara, Bonnie, Cassandra, Monica, Desiree, I hope I'm saying that right. No? Yes? Maybe? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. All right, so I got to unmute you now. I've always wondered you got to tell me. I look at your name. How do I pronounce it correctly?
It's Desiree.
Desiree. Okay.
Yeah.
People pronounce my name wrong all the time, so I'm just that's what he says. Desiree. Okay, cool. What you miss is we wanted everyone to just drop a link. Drop a comment on this workplace post if you can. And then we're going to get into live prospecting today. Now, we had a lot of fun doing this morning with the group. Now, look, the whole point of this session on Tuesdays is everyone said in building momentum and multipliers, right? We talked, those are the two key things to doing anything great, is creating momentum in certain areas, as well as having multipliers, which are people in your life, right? So Desiree, I would say that Lori is a multiplier in your life, right? She's a multiplier in everyone's life that knows her. So you start looking at it. And the reason that multipliers are really important is, you ever talk to that person that just is a detractor, and you could have all the momentum in the world and they literally just suck the air out of your day. So you need to be purposeful and mindful of protecting your energy, your heart, and who you spend your time with. Now, let's get into live prospecting, right? So if you think about it like this, my favorite quote is, small actions done consistently produce oversized results. If you guys just prospected with me 1 day a week for the next 40 weeks, would you make more money? Okay, so let's get started. The way this is going to work is, these are your different options. You could call somebody, you can text somebody, you could send a bulk email to somebody. You can send a video message on your computer. You can send a video message through text. Now, you can ask me anything on here, right? Luciana had sent a message in the morning session that said, I have a likely to sell. How do I connect with them? And I said, please use this article. For last week, she sent the message. Other people asked for video, scripts for open houses. How do I follow up with the lead? I gave them the script. They sent the video. So everyone here must take an action. So my question is, what is your question, right? The coolest thing is if you've ever wondered what to say, what to do, how to follow up with the lead, and just realize that I don't have a magic bullet. If I did, I'd reactivate my broker's license and I'd be independently wealthy, because I could just, clap my hands and just have leads galore. But I do have a lot of great strategies on how to reconnect with people and how to inspire conversations. So who has a question on how they want to prospect? Whoa. Don't be shy. Really? I think everyone's just typing really slow today. Go ahead, just drop it in the chat, David. All right, here we go. Okay, I need to follow up with people in collections. Do you know it's a great way to add value on collections? You know how on the MLS they have those agent only remarks? If you take those remarks and you repopulate them in all the collections, it is an absolutely great way to connect with people. So if you're setting up new collections, add the agent only remarks in, right? Because it's generally pertinent information that you share with an agent that people don't want to share in the beginning. Also, if you want to reconnect with people on collections, share an interpretation of the home, through the context of what you know about the people, right? If you know they want to be in a cul-de-sac and the home is on a road, say this home, I don't think it's going to fit you because it's not on a cul-de-sac, I'll remove it from the list. All right, so there's one. Okay, so re-engaging buyers. Gary, send a video, right? It just says the subject line will say off-market properties. And I'd send a video and it says, hey, I'm updating my client's criteria. And I just wanted to see where you stood in your home search as I'm spending a lot of my time looking for off-market homes. Has any of your criteria changed? You'll get responses. Re-entering sphere after 10 years in another market. So Bonnie, if you're re-entering the sphere, I would literally send a handwritten note out, just asking people how their year's been going and if they could get coffee, right? So if you think about it, it's attention, retention, repetition. You need people to pay attention to you. You need that retention of I'm still here, this is what I do, and that repetition, the consistency of messaging. So when you're planning out a campaign like that, you need to plan out 3 to 6 touch points. And understand it's going to take discipline to do what you need to do every day, consistency, doing it even when you don't have results, and the patience to know in the end the numbers always work out in your favor. Remember, consistency is a must-have for momentum. And if you don't have momentum and you don't have consistency, in the end of the year, you're never going to get what you should have. Remember, 1%, right? 5 phone calls to 5 contacts with your sphere, 3 contacts with Compass agents, and 2 handwritten notes a day at a 1% conversion rate, if done consistently for 10 months, will give you 20 transactions. I'm not making up any crazy numbers. It's like 1%. If you get 2%, you get 40. Natalia, when you say checking in on clients, what do you mean? Matt, I think you sent this email last time to the wrong group of people, right? So if they're on the fence, I would maybe send that. I would maybe send a video and link the article, right? And share a story. Like I recently read an article that homeowners gained $6.9 trillion in equity, and I was able to share that story with a client of mine who was shocked to see the value of their home. It made me think of you and realize that there might not be the only other people in that same situation. If I can be helpful in any way, and if you'd like an equity analysis, I'm happy to meet you in person and prepare a report. Keep it simple. Cindy, I don't know what Limelight is. All right, if you have random contacts, just archive them. Well, let's talk about this for a second. Please do not hoard your freaking contacts. I don't know a nicer, more direct way to say it. These people aren't like little pebbles of money. If you don't know them, get rid of them, right? I don't know what movie it is, but that movie, the person's like, my things. Like, that is not your freaking contacts. Like, those people are never going to make you money. And what you need to understand about all those contacts that you just can't let go of, think of that as like going to a client's house that's hoarded full of shit and you can never sell it. I hate to be so blunt about this, but we all really need to like kind of tune into this. They have this beautiful house if you can get all their junk out. Well, you guys all have beautiful databases filled with money that you could have, but you have all these people that get in your way. So let me explain to you the psychology of your brain. You see all these people, you don't know who they are, then you become overwhelmed. then you haven't contacted them. And since you haven't contacted them, well, what happens if I say that? What happens if they think this? And then all of a sudden you do nothing. Sound right? So if you don't know who the person is and you can't remember them within the first 15, 20 seconds, they're really not that memorable, hit archive. And just get rid of them. They're not going away. They're just there for later. So for old leads, right, Paul, if they're buyers, I would say that I'm looking for off-market properties, and I wanted to know if any of your home criteria has changed. And just write, if it has not changed, no need to respond. I hope you're doing well. When you write things like no need to respond, you always get responses. Georgia, for the past clients, Brooke, put that email in, but the $6.9 trillion. So Brooke has an email where you guys should just copy and paste it in and send. Someone posted a screenshot. That is a beautiful, Serena, that is a beautiful handwritten note card. Aaron, for the likely to sell, use bulk email, tag the people, and use this email that Brooke's putting in the chat. When I get an email every day, likely to sell or buy, I know them and haven't spoken out to them. So if you haven't spoke to them in a while, you could just send a quick note that says, hey, Chirag, I was just thinking about you, or it's something, think of something relatable to them about their house or whatever it is. I just saw blank, or go on their social media page, David, and see what they've posted lately and say, hey, David, I saw this on social media. Congratulations, or I hope you're doing well. Just made me think of you. I wanted to drop you a quick note. Hope all is well and look forward to catching up soon. Very simple. If you don't know how to connect with people, go on their Facebook and Instagram. Which one, Ryan, do you want me to say again? And just unmute yourself if you can.
I got it. Someone posted it in the chat.
Oh, David's the man. I'm getting to these comments.
David did get it, so thank you.
I would, Julie, that's a good thing when people are on the fence and stuff like that. I would just reach out to them and I would say, hey, Chirag, I understand you're in the decision-making process. I do have some new clients looking in the area. Would you like me to send them your property? Not 100% sure that it's a good fit, but I thought of you and I just want to send you a quick note. Hope all is well. I'll talk to you soon. Remember, when you say things like, I understand you're in the decision-making process, it takes the pressure off the other person. It's like, look, if you called and asked for coaching, and the first thing I said is, look, coaching is like picking a partner or a spouse. There's somebody for everyone, but I might not be the right person for you. And at the end of this, if we have a conversation, it's 100% okay. That right there is like literally bleeding the air out of a radiator, right? Like it takes all the pressure away. If you have a new program, I would share that as well. And I would share it in a video and then put a link in. Okay, Lynn, this is where the magic trick happens. Listen, Lynn wrote, the ones that are not in a rush, how do I get them moving with no inventory? Listen, if moving is not a must for somebody, meaning that there's a defined life event, time frame, please don't waste your time with those people. There are no houses to begin with. It's something they would like to do. So I'll give you an example. This might be a bad one, but someone smoking, they would like to quit cigarettes, right? But they're not able to necessarily do so right away. Somebody that sees a doctor and that says they're going to have emphysema or cancer if they keep smoking must quit cigarettes. They're a lot more motivated to do it and do what's necessary. This is not the market to spend with people that would like to do things. If someone says, yeah, I'm not in a rush, if I find the right place, like, are you kidding me, dude? The only deal you're getting today is like actually winning the house. Mia, Couples dynamic. It's hard when the husband and wife fight in front of you. I felt like a recent meeting went south because the wife who wants to sell tried to shoo away the husband that doesn't want to sell. I'm finding a lot of fighting couples and don't know how to make them both feel heard if they have opposing mindsets or they're just bad clients. That's a really good one. Hit yes if you want to know a little more about conflict resolution today. Put it in the chat. David Severance, are you here today? David was here with me in the morning. Okay. Conflict resolution. So when you have two people that want two different things, you have to sit down and say, I would say to somebody, if there's a husband and wife, Mia, that we're fighting, I'm going to say, look, the beauty of life is we're all our own unique individuals, and let's figure out what's important to everyone, and then together we can make a strategy. Is that fair? And they'd say yes. So I'm going to ask Luciana to talk first, and then Ryan can talk after. So Luciana, what motivated you to want to take this action? What are your expectations, right? And what are your concerns? I would just do the MEC. I'd skip the disappointments, right? And then to the other person, I'd ask the same ones, right? Like, what motivated you or what's not motivating you, right? What are your expectations and what are your concerns? I put all those things down and then I repeat back to them. So I hear, Luciana, this is important to you. I hear this is important to you, Brian. And here are the areas, and I'd identify the 3 or 4 things that we need to work together and figure out a solution to compromise. And the goal of this conversation is to figure out if these things are these things some things amongst yourselves that you can compromise, or things that ultimately are going to be deal breakers and neither one of us could be able to do anything. So you need to be able to extract the information, right? Be able to regurgitate the information and then create a neutral, safe place that you've all detached everyone from the outcome and have a conversation. Does that make sense to everybody? See, the problem is when you start defending a situation, well, this is like this and that's not like that. And you can't pick sides and you can't own the situation. Remember, it has nothing to do with you and there's nothing you can control. So Matt, if you sent the email with no follow-ups, I'd wait another month and I would just stay in communication with them. And remember, just because someone didn't respond to you doesn't mean they're not interested. They're just not interested in that minute. For the likely to sell email, I would just Google an article, right? Honestly, I wouldn't even attach an article. I would find the article and I'd put in the PS, happy to send the article if you'd find it helpful. Someone else answer the question. Okay. Mia, do not send these people a fruit basket. Where are you? Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Why are you going to send a fruit basket?
I felt like I connected with her. She's a friend of a friend. She has a beautiful home that she's ready to sell. And then the husband has a lot of reasons, but I feel we made a breakthrough that he would look at other houses to buy. So the thing was, she kicked me out of the house. She's like, okay, I have to make dinner. And she like pushed me out of the house. And I felt it was because she thought I was actually listening to her husband. So I want to just keep trying to connect with her, but not alienate him. So I'm like stuck.
So the simple thing is yes, do not send something to one person, send it to everyone and send them a handwritten card because it's a very tricky situation because if you start signing up to her, it could alienate him and they could have a whole different problem.
Yeah. All right, I'll send that note card.
Yeah. You'd send a gift, like edible arrangements are great, and I if you're going to send an edible arrangements, I would just say, thank you for welcoming me in your home. I appreciate the time we spent together and looking forward to our next conversation. And that's it.
Okay.
Your job's not to solve their problems.
I know, but it feels like it.
You're not the Jerry Springer show. Jerry. Remember that? I can't believe what people do in front of other people. Yeah, do not ask people if they're thinking of selling. Ask them if they want an equity analysis on their home. As soon as you guys ever know there's certain things in life that trigger you, right? Like you hear certain words, phrases, and things, they trigger you. As soon as you hear from real estate agents thinking to sell, it triggers people, right? Know anyone looking to buy or sell, it triggers people. Don't go ask people those questions. They're never going to get you what you want. Hey, do you know anyone that's looking to make a move? That sounds a lot better, right? So what else do we have here? All right, listen, we have 7 minutes left. I need you all to take an action right now. Something. I don't know what it is. Send a video, a bulk email, or everything, and then put in the chat box what you did after. I need to make sure that every week when we do this, everyone does something. So for those of you who have your camera on, I'm going to be kind of looking around to watch your eyes to make sure you're doing something. Matt, I see one hand is down, one hand's on your chin. So you got to put the second hand down. Let's get cracking. So you could send a video. Listen, if you've never sent a video before, send me a video. It's fine. All right, I'm going to mute myself too. If you have a question, let me know.
Can I ask a question, Chirag?
Of course,
Can you hear me?
Michelle.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
So when we were talking about the wife and she felt that she was not the center of attention anymore, so she was saying, okay, I have to make dinner. Do you find, I've always been told, find out who is the decision maker, you know, and not totally ignoring the other person, but you have to know who is kind of going to be the one to say, we're going to list the house. And then, or is that, do you approach things that way?
I think that in itself, that question in itself, if you ask, like, if somebody sat down, me and my wife, and they said, who's the decision maker, you could literally create a
not
fight.
ask them. Oh my God, not asking them, but just by body language and who's answering the questions.
It's very hard. Like if David was here, you know what he would tell you? In I believe it's a Japanese culture, like the mother-in-law is the one who really drives the decision, right? So it's like you could be going out with an Asian couple, the mother-in-law could not be saying anything. You could be addressing the husband and wife, and in the end, they're not going to work with you because the mother-in-law felt disrespected and she's the one that makes the decision. So look, asking people just basic questions, right? Like, what's important to you? Why do you want to do this, right? I always used to tell people when I was an agent a joke. I'm going to say, look, moving is as fun as paying taxes. It's not something anyone really wants to do. It's something you have to do, right? And so what makes this the right time to make a move right now?
Hey, Chirag, it's Elkin. So I've also always heard the same thing. So like if you're going on a prospecting call to find out if all the decision makers are going to be there, because then that's a way of them of getting out of the appointment or saying, oh, I need to check with my wife, or I need to check with, you know, my mom who owns the apartment with me. So asking if all the decision makers are going to be present, something that's been kind of like ingrained in me, at least, to ask. And I don't necessarily ask directly, but I find out who's on title and stuff. And I kind of ask, oh, is Betty's going to be around or something like that. But so we shouldn't ask who is the decision maker, or is it all the decision makers going to be there? Is that not appropriate?
Well, really, it depends the context, right? If you're doing a listing, you don't mind doing a two-step listing, and it all depends where it comes from, what the conversation is, and what the context is, right? If you're meeting someone, let's say for an estate, right, you're going to say, great, is there anyone else whose opinion is valuable that needs to be, that should be present for the conversation? Is there anyone's opinion that's valuable that should be present for the conversation? It's the same way of doing the same thing.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I agree. I said asking if all the decision makers are gonna be there, or like, are you the only decision maker? It does sound a little bit condescending.
Anna, where are you? Unmute yourself. Ana Santos, I know you're here.
Hey, I'm here. Yes.
Hey. When you said, I don't like to be asked those questions, what questions are those?
Like, if all the decision makers are gonna be there, that kind of stuff. It sounds like the people that knock on my door trying to sell me solar panels every day. So honestly, I don't like to be asked that kind of question, because sometimes, I've helped clients where it is necessary to do 2 trips. Maybe the wife is kind of giving a bigger tour and selecting area down for the husband. So I don't know. I don't like to be asked that question. So I don't personally ask it.
I wouldn't like to be asked that either. Well, are all the decision makers present, or how do you guys make decisions around it? Like, what the hell is that your business? Right? It could create a combative nature. So listen, we have 1 more minute left. Make sure that you keep taking consistent action. Use your journal, follow the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Someone just sent me an email today from doing their 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which they never do. They got a $4.9 million listing. So people are adding stuff in the chat. So listen, everybody, I will see you guys all, I hope as many of you as possible, at 4 p.m. with Robert. We'll be demoing his action plan, and show up. If you have note cards, have your note cards ready. If not, be in front of your computer, have your camera on. Make sure that you've gone in your Zoom settings, and like Cindy, it has your name and location of where you are, right? So people know where you're located. Actually, no, this is not a Zoom, actually, it's on Workplace. So it's on Workplace. You all have a calendar invite, but if you go to Compass Agents, it's there on Workplace at 4 p.m.
Hey,
so I have to
Chirag.
jump everybody. Yes.
Hey, it's Victoria.
Hello.
Hi, just super quickly, you guys, people who, when there are multiple decision makers, they're used to you asking if there are multiple decision makers. It's really not. You can simply say, are there other people involved in the transaction I should be aware of? And they're not going to be offended. It's all how you say it. But just if you say it like that, then they'll say, oh no, it's just me and my husband, or oh, my mother-in-law might be involved too. Don't say, are you the only one, or who else do I have to talk to? But are there multiple decision makers? Easy peasy.
There you go. All right, and I'll leave it on that note. So I shall see everybody tomorrow, and I'll see a lot of you guys at guys, everybody at 4. Bye, everybody.